that lower your vibration and cause you to stay stagnant and stuck in cycles of destruction. And I'll be giving you things to basically set you free and set yourself up for abundance and to let go of things from the past that are still holding you captive. So if you feel like invisible chains are dragging you down and keeping you limited and experiencing loops of constant negativity, exhaustion, and doubt, then this video is for you. So everything in this universe vibrates at a certain frequency, whether it's low or high, everything carries frequency, right? Higher the vibration, the more clarity, peace, and manifestation you will have. But if you're working on, and you'll feel more like a flow, ease, less stress or limitation on yourself. Whereas if you were working from a lower vibration, you feel more fear, insecurity, doubt, and stuff like that. So I'll be listing some things that can help you work on a high vibration. A key thing to identify if your energy is being hijacked is feeling heavy in certain areas. Like this can manifest physically or emotionally. Like example, if you're constantly anxious about something or doubtful, you're going to feel that in your chest. You're going to feel a discomfort, like it's building up, because that's like that stagnant energy accumulating. So yeah, that's one thing to identify. If you feel heaviness or like a discomfort anywhere in your body, it could be physical, mental, emotional, And these will not go away if you just ignore them or keep on stuffing them in. They're just going to accumulate and manifest in other ways. Same with like a resentment. If you're holding on to resentment and that's unresolved within you, you're gonna sense a trigger. Maybe like a similar situation happens, and that's gonna set your mind back to as if like that reality is happening again. So that's why you feel trapped and easily triggered by those things. So it's not easier, let me hold myself there, it's not easy, but it's worth it to go through and face those emotions and see it as an opportunity, like a challenge to grow you, let you open yourself up to different experiences, and those things won't bother you anymore. It's like you're leaving them there and you're growing up. Okay, so number one would be toxic environments or chaotic energy that's sucking onto your energy like a vampire and just like draining it down. So unresolved problems, conflicts that taint the air, that just like accumulate and just make the energy awkward. This doesn't have to necessarily be you, but if you're walking into a room and all like those crowd of people are doing or gossiping, bringing people down, ruminating on the past, like the more you absorb that, the more that's like programming into your subconscious. So you're gonna, energy is like contagious. You're gonna feel that, you're gonna feel those effects essentially. I'm not saying like for every situation, but if you're constantly doing this, if your environment's always like chaotic or toxic, you're gonna absorb that eventually. People who constantly complain or gossip are in a state of fear. So imagine like hearing that all the time, like always, judging and critiquing because they're scared. And you don't want to be around energy like that, because then you're gonna pick up that fear-based energy. Also, anything like conversations that you feel drained afterwards, like if you're only being used as like the therapist friend, people just want to dump their problems on you. Like set boundaries with that. I'm not saying don't be there for the people you love and are friends with, but definitely set some boundaries with how you want the conversation to go. That you're not always available to receive their chaos, essentially. Number two would be food and substances. So this is like processed food, artificial foods, excessive drugs and alcohol. And if you're consistently consuming stuff like this not only affects your physical health, but also lowers your energy field. So when you eat like excessive processed food, your mind can feel sluggish You also feel almost lazier, like not as energized, or after like excessive alcohol use, your emotions can feel unstable. This is because what you consume becomes a part of you. So putting low vibrational food into your system, what do you think that's going to do? That's going to lower your frequency level. But eating like whole foods, alive foods, and that means like pure 100% like actual chicken instead of McDonald's chicken, because a lot of fast food is like chemically processed and artificial. So, and artificial things that aren't meant to be in us because we're natural, we're organic, it's gonna clash. It's not gonna go together. Whereas if you eat things like real whole foods, berries, dark chocolate, green tea, walnuts, whole grains like brown rice, oatmeal, um, those foods will make you feel lighter and clearer and more energized. Number 3 would be your own mind. So our mind is a frequency generator. So any thought we produce consciously, we're going to attract the same. It's like a magnet. So if you're constantly worrying, you're going to be in this loop of destruction because your mind is set to receive and respond to worry because that's what it constantly believes. So your mind is going to find that in your everyday reality, and it's going to be almost magnetic. But if you were, this is how basically the law of manifestation and attraction works. And if you like say to yourself, I'm confident, like I'm capable of doing this, I have no limitations, your mind's going to start being responsive to those things and not turn down those opportunities when they present themselves. Most of the time people stay stuck because they refuse to break the mental loops that they create, the patterns that they keep reinforcing, like replaying past mistakes, anticipating the worst, and then speaking words to reinforce that reality. But the truth is your external reality is a reflection of your internal state. An example of this would be resentments. So if someone did you like really bad in your past and you just can't seem to get over that or make amends, so you hold that grudge. But that grudge is, it's not limited to that one person or that one circumstance. It carries on to basically not in every part of your life, but in like a general aspect. Like your mind starts to detect patterns because that's how our mind works. It looks for patterns. Like if you're an addict, you're going to have that same pattern. You're not just going to be an addict with one thing. It's going to carry over to other things that you do. So the same thing. If you get triggered, like say this circumstance brings those feelings and you're like, oh, I can't deal with this. I have to go into this downward spiral now and be bitter or closed off to it because it reminded you of that situation that you chose to avoid and not go through it and, accept it, make amends. And this really doesn't mean, it only benefits you. Like, dealing with your resentments and forgiveness. It's not kind of like, it's like a selfish thing, but a good way. Because sometimes there is ways that being selfish is good, and this is one of them. So it's like letting yourself free from all that crap that weighs you down, right? So you feel lighter and you're able to, work with and not against things. Life does this funny thing where it'll keep showing you a lesson or reinforcing like the same situation, like kind of like this repetition. It's like, what the heck, it's like not even a coincidence. You're like, this always happens to me. How many times do we catch ourselves saying that? It's gonna keep doing that until we go through that, because it's trying to teach us something. It's trying to it is giving us that opportunity to change, become better, become stronger. And it's not going to go away if we keep running away from it. So, don't be surprised if, you run away from something, but then it presents itself again. Take that as an opportunity to empower yourself and ascend, not descend. Like we have to grow in life. We can't stay stagnant. Because if we're always running and running, we're only weighing ourselves down and cutting ourselves off from our highest potential, our highest frequency. So high vibrational living is not about reacting to life, but creating it. So It's about creating your state of being. So no matter what you go through in life, your reaction, your growth is not dependent on how the external circumstance is going to go. So teach yourself to expand even in discomfort instead of contract, because what that does is just reinforce fear, doubt, and limitation. But the more you practice expansion, you're coming from a place of love, trust, and abundance. You're only going to keep growing from there. You're only going to be stronger and have stronger values going forward. Like, so the next circumstance that comes around that's uncomfortable and challenges you to grow a little bit out of your comfort zone, you're going to be more prepared and you're going to be more confident instead of fearing letting that circumstance overtake you. You kind of overtake the circumstance. Another thing is living authentically. Like, don't apologize for being you. Tap into your inner calling and don't like try to belittle it or excuse yourself. Just be authentic. Even if you're not feeling the most ideal version of yourself, just practice being authentic. Step out of the familiar zone and definitely get rid of like the habit that we all have. It's an egotistical habit, but seeking approval from the outside world. They're not you, they're not on your level, and their opinion doesn't have power unless you give it power. So who's the only one who has power? You. The more powerful the energy, the more influential. Instead of endlessly chasing your dream reality, you attract it. If you notice things leaving your life, don't chase them, just let them go. That simply means you've outgrown them. Detachment from external validation only allows yourself room to create, live freely and authentically without fear of being judged. Another thing that is energetically draining is past trauma to relationships, and it's not just psychological, so it's not always your thoughts that drain you, it's the energetic tie that you created when emotions are invested. So this is why like relationships, even long after they ended, they still drain you because those emotional cords are still tied. So it's best to like process something and not turn it into like a resentment or turn bitter, because that pattern is going to follow you. Okay, number 4 would be digital consumption. If you are mindlessly scrolling through social media all the time, you're programming your subconscious to be less reactive, heightened anxiety, shorter attention span, and you feel a lack of connection to yourself. Or constant negative media, you program into your mind chaos, heightened anxiety, unfocusedness, that sense of feeling like not grounded, so ungrounded, I guess, like emotionally scattered, and just an overall negative mindset. Not all media is like this. Some actually have the ability to heighten your consciousness, elevate your vibration. Depends on what you're consuming. Think of your mind as like a computer. What you watch constantly, you're downloading that into your mind. So basically just be aware of things you're allowing in your energetic field. Set boundaries, set limitations with things, have a mindful speech, and what helps with that is being mindful. So practice things like meditation or communicating your thoughts, resolving your emotions so they don't hide away into your subconscious and hurt you later on. Confront them, gain your power back. The more awareness you have of your energy and how it functions, the more power you have to shift it. Sustaining energy with this power isn't about waiting for external circumstance to change to seek answers, because if you're constantly doing that, you're trapping yourself. It's about holding your energy steady, no matter what's tempting you, no matter what chaos is knocking at your door. You practice holding your energy steady makes you more powerful every single time. So your attachment to the external outcome slowly gets less and less. So that means things outside of you, that chaos knocking at your door, those temptations, that seem so like, it becomes like almost magnetized. Like that pull, that gravitational pull is going to become weaker and weaker with time. And this is how you gain your power back. Focus on creating something out of a situation instead of just reacting to it. Instead of absorbing that energy, whatever it may be, chaotic, toxic, stressful. Everyone has stress, but if some stress is like really heightened and unnecessary, like toxic behavior, people who can't control their emotions, and that's all of a sudden your problem. You don't have to absorb that energy, you can regenerate it. Practice just accepting a situation for what it is, observing it, not absorbing it, because the reason we want to take on a lot of things externally is because we want to change it or we want to control it. We want to influence it in some way that's going to be the most ideal. The truth is, we don't know what ideal looks like. We don't know why things happen, and that's not our responsibility to change it. But we can change how we react to it and how we evolve as a person. It's either we absorb it and we get dragged down by it, because circumstances are always going to keep rolling in and coming in, but we can't change it. We can't control it. It's always like going to be an uphill battle. If you have this expectation, you're like, it should have gone this way. And it's like, think about it like this. It's not happening to you. It's just happening. Practicing detachment like that is so important, and it's going to just make you feel so much more stable, grounded, powerful, confident, because you're saying to yourself, I respect my values and my boundaries. Not everything that comes around is my responsibility. A lot of crazy things happen in this world, but that's life. It's not just happening to you. It's just happening, and you're the observer, and you don't have to attach yourself or your energy or your time to that circumstance. Your vibration is your responsibility. Tune it like an instrument. Instead of giving your energy away in the morning to mindless scrolling on your phone, take time to recognize yourself. Do like a full body scan, meditation, engage in movement, have a gratitude list. It's not going to be instant dopamine, because that's what a lot of us search for, me included, but nature does its thing, and we are nature. Nature is sometimes slow, but the slow incremental things that we like to oftentimes diminish are the things that build our energy up and heighten our frequency for the most success. It's like getting that expensive dopamine. It's okay, I can sacrifice not looking at my phone now, or not taking in cheap dopamine in the morning, and I can give myself recognition and be grateful for what I do have, and not constantly seek out what I don't have, kind of thing. It's like we already have all those things, all the things to keep us happy, confident, aware, wise, energetic, strong, healthy within ourselves. So recognizing that every morning and practicing that is going to shift your life so profoundly. When you do this and you practice giving yourself the attention in the morning, acknowledging your energy, getting grounded, you are giving yourself a chance to make your own choices and be more conscious in decision making before the world has a chance to influence you. You will reach a point where your energy becomes so stable and powerful that you will manifest all you need without force or struggle. Most people find it difficult to obtain this level because they struggle with the illusion of control. If only this person would change, if only this situation would go away, then I would finally be at peace. How many times do we catch ourselves saying stuff like that? With this mindset, it's an endless battle, everything's, the world is always changing. There's always going to be that one person or that one situation, but that's not your problem or responsibility to change. You are focusing on creating rather than reacting. You're calling your energy back to you, making yourself more stronger and stable and more resilient to even being affected by that certain person or that situation. This is attainable through wisdom and perspective. It's all about perspective. Like, the whole this is just happening, it's not happening to me, is so powerful, because that self-centeredness will bring you down. Like, it's just like, it's so important, like, to not let your ego hurt you. Like, it's okay, everyone has an ego, but don't let your ego or your pride be the sole source of your well-being, because it will drag you down every time. And I'm laughing because, like, I did this for so long, and I'm now able to see, like, the patterns of how I let the world get to me. But, like, meditating and cutting those external detachment from the external validation has helped me feel free to create, has helped me feel more confident and lighter, and actually see things shifting and changing profoundly in my reality. So I'm not just saying this to like teach or whatever. I'm saying it because it's just so real and it's so powerful. It's like a magic switch or something. But it takes time. Like, it's not just that instantaneous thing. It's something to be built on, and it can constantly grow and be built on. You know, we're meant to do that. We're meant to grow, and we're meant to wither and fall sometimes, but got to get up and get stronger. You know, that's just how this world works. But to manifest, you can't do it from a state of lack, because if you're believing you don't have the resources necessary to attain that reality, you'll never get it. So we create reality with our mind, right? So train your mind and tell it that you already do have the stuff you need. Align yourself with the feelings of the frequency, your ideal lifestyle. Feel it, believe it, attract it. This is how the law of manifestation works, because naturally you become what you desire. You don't force, you allow. You don't chase, you attract. And also telling yourself you're confident, I can do this, I have everything I have within me to create my dream reality. You're not going to turn down the opportunities, those challenging things that are going to grow your energy and heighten it. You're not going to turn it down, because guess what? You are capable. You're not going to have the, oh, this is too hard for me mindset. Oh, like, I can't do this, I'm not on that level mindset. You're going to be like, no, this aligns with me. I can do this. You're going to become almost magnetic to it, because you have the power to change it.